Hello, new internet friends. I am Coach Mike, our marketing director here at Results Driven.
I'm Coach Ed, the owner of Results Driven and director of training.
We are super excited to bring you this show that we haven't named yet. A lot of our members use YouTube as a resource, but they come back with some funny experiences sometimes.
There's certain fields that you can get really good information on YouTube. I mean, we've jokingly called it YouTube University, and in the past meant it in a kind of negative way. But recently we've started to notice the shift in certain fields that the information is just really, really top quality. Not only the production, but the actual educational materials. Unfortunately, in the fitness industry, it's not quite the same.
If you search fat loss on YouTube, the first 10 choices are going to be tile pictures of dudes with 12 packs, people who have made incredible transformations with some kind of quick fix. And it seems like in the fitness industry, a lot of information, tactical information, is a lot of quick fixes and stuff that probably doesn't pertain to our population.
We're not saying there's anything wrong with short-term programs. We use them at Results Driven to just provide people with an opportunity to test out what we do, see if you like our culture and our community, and see if the coaches are the right people to help you. What we don't like is the fact that things are sold as short-term solutions.
So we want this to become a resource for you, for people who are just starting their fitness journey and for long-time fitness enthusiasts. We really believe in the systems that we use here, so we want to impart that knowledge on our community and the people watching.
In the past, we've simply used YouTube as a place to host our videos for our blog and our website. Our goal with it now is to provide safe, effective, tactical advice for our members and just the rest of the internet community.
So thank you for joining us today, and each month there's going to be a theme for the episodes for that month. And this month we're talking about getting started on your fitness journey. Let's get started. It's the start of the new year, and so a lot of people are focused on getting started on some new fitness goals. So we're gonna give you 3 pieces of tactical advice to start you on that journey.
First is just a simple mobility drill. Most people when they're getting started have tight hips, so we want to give you a movement that costs nothing and can help open those hips up.
We're also going to give you an easy chicken and asparagus recipe with some balsamic on top.
And finally, we're just gonna sprinkle on a little goal setting. So how do we set a goal and what are reasonable goals? Our system at Results Driven starts with the functional movement screen. It allows us to get a movement baseline for everybody coming in, and it gives us a way to not only audit the process for our members, but also decide if our programming is safe and effective.
The functional movement screen serves 2 purposes for us here at Results Driven. The first thing that it does for us is on the front end, it helps us understand how new people coming into the gym move. That helps us make sure that we can give them exercises to help them move better. It also helps us make the appropriate exercise choices for their body and where it is right now.
The movement screen has set criteria that need to be met for a movement pattern to be considered functional or good enough. So it's not a coach's eye deciding if something's improved. There's a specific setup to each test or each screen, and there's a certain guideline that you need to hit. It doesn't police perfection, but it lets us know without any emotion attached if we're improving movement or not.
The way that the FMS algorithm works, everything starts with mobility. So that's why we're here, if we're talking about getting started on your fitness journey, to start you on the path with mobility. So we're gonna go through the 90-90 positional breathing drill to help you mobilize those hips.
Hey guys, Coach Mike here with your 60-second fit tip. Who wants to get more mobile? I do, but there's 2 ways to do it. One way that we always talk about is bringing tension to a posture, but another way that's commonly forgotten is positional breathing. So here's one of the breathing positions that we use here at Results Driven to help our clients mobilize their hips. 90-90 breathing is the bee's knees when it comes to mobilizing those hips. You're gonna start in 90-90 position. That means that we have a 90 degree at our front leg from femur to shin and at our back leg from femur to shin. You're gonna get really tall even through the top of your head, and then you're gonna lean your belly button towards your knee in front. What I want you to focus on is how far can you lean without bending your spine and while still getting a very comfortable breath. If you're using this technique before your workout, spend 30 to 60 seconds per side. If you're using this breathing as a recovery technique, spend 2 minutes on each side after your workout to help you cool down. Happy hips! This is Coach Mike from Results Driven Fitness. Thanks for joining us for this 60-second fit tip.
After we choose a mobility drill for one of our members based off their screen, we're not gonna guess whether it worked or not. We're gonna simply test and retest. So you start off with your baseline, for example, on the active straight leg raise, perform the drill, and then retest. Just because it works for most of our members doesn't mean it's gonna work for you. So by following that sequence of testing and retesting, we can make sure that we get the specific drill or exercise that's gonna work for you and your movement profile.
Then we're going to follow the FMS algorithm. So after we've addressed mobility, we're going to go into a static stability drill. So in this particular example, we're talking about hip mobility. We're going to go into a static hip stability drill, like an AR press. After that, we're going to go to a dynamic hip stability drill. So first, we're teaching the body to control the hips. Keep the hips still while the upper body is moving in our static stability drill. Our dynamic stability drill, like a bridge, we are now moving the hips. So we mobilized the hips, we taught the body how to control that mobility, and now we are teaching it how to control that mobility in more of a dynamic fashion.
Restorative exercises are going to really be dose or frequency dependent. So you want to frequently revisit the exercise that helped make the change in the functional movement screen. Now over time, we're going to have to choose different drills to continue to improve the same quality, but the bottom line is the movement drills that are working for you at that time need to be done with a decent amount of frequency, and the functional movement screen will let us know if you're doing it enough. Great thing about our whole system is, yeah, we're talking about getting started now, but if you can train yourself from the beginning to have that beginner's mindset throughout your journey, what are the things that helped you get started, and how can we constantly make sure that we're doubling down on those efforts? Something as simple as frequency in terms of drills can be carried forward to your strength movements and some of the habits that you need to make in terms of nutritional changes.
In the next episode, we're going to go further into the 90-90 position, giving you some of the finer points on that. We're also going to show you an alternative to this exercise. Like Ed said, we're trying to address certain movement qualities. So if you can't get the breath in the 90-90 breathing drill, we'll show you a different posture that works for a lot of people when sitting on the floor isn't working.
New Year's resolutions I've tried in the past are go to the gym more, lose weight.
I have tried mostly losing weight. The big one is losing weight.
Most of the time what I've done is make a new resolution and then break it 2 or 3 weeks later. A lot of times I find that a New Year's resolution is just an excuse to procrastinate.
2018 will be different because I'm here at RD.
2018 will be a lot different for me just because it might sound cheesy. I have RD.
2018 is going to be different because I am going to be healthier and stronger. I just have this group around me that I enjoy being around, and it gives me motivation to be here knowing that they'll notice when I'm not here. Just get started now, don't wait.
As you saw in that clip, and maybe from your own personal experience, what's probably the #1 thing people want to change in the new year? It's losing a little bit of weight. And we know that it's easier to lose a little bit of weight, and I think everybody knows, common knowledge by now, that some healthier eating habits will help people with their body composition goals.
So whether your goal is fat loss this time of year, or even if you have performance goals, we utilize the Precision Nutrition System. The habits they use help us just effectively coach our members, and we're actually about to share with you a recipe that follows those habits, and it's from Coach Mike's kitchen.
Welcome back.
Hey,
Have you set a New Year's resolution before? A lot of the times this time of year gets a lot of slack, but we actually appreciate this time of year. What's better than a lot of people rallying around some kind of goal to improve themselves?
the beginning of a new year is an exciting time because a lot of people are just analyzing their life and deciding what they want to change. The problem comes in when they look for a quick fix. So you're sold something where in a short period of time, you're gonna put in X work and get Y result. It's just not how it works.
So how can you start to set goals that are actually sustainable over time? The first thing that we would suggest here at Results Driven is just choosing a goal that you think you can obtain.
Deciding your destination is really deciding your outcome goal. Once you have that outcome goal or the thing you want to achieve, we recommend setting 2 process goals. So process goals are just the things that you're going to do or the work you're going to put in to achieve that outcome. We recommend that people have 2 process goals for each outcome goal. We want one of them to be focused more around movement or exercise and the other really focused on nutrition or recovery.
So one goal might be, for me, for example, if I want to pass the DVRT Ultimate Sandbag Clean and Press Test, that would be my outcome goal. My process goals would be making sure that I work out at least 3 times a week, and then for my recovery or nutrition goal, making sure that I eat at least 4 times each day.
To look at it through the lens of a lot of our members or really just people coming in for the first time, we tend to make things a little simpler or a lot simpler. So if your goal is to drop fat, your movement goal might just be about frequency of exercise or number of times during the week you're gonna move. And your nutrition and recovery goal could just be getting on the InBody or body composition scale twice per month.
You can see how we're setting an outcome goal, and then like Ed said, we're choosing 2 other process goals to support that goal. What we want to do is build small little pieces that we can work in throughout your process to help you reach that outcome goal.
So you're 2 weeks in, you're crushing it, you're high on life, and then shit hits the fan. Life's gonna happen during this process. If you only have one thing you're focusing on, if you're saying, I'm gonna get to the gym 3 days of the week, and you get there twice, or once, or 0 times, you're gonna feel like a failure. If you have 2 avenues you can focus on when it's really your shit hits the fan plan. So, I can't get to the gym this week because I'm traveling for work. Can I at least make sure that I'm tracking my food, or eating breakfast, or having enough water? And on the flip side of it, if I can't focus on nutrition, I'm just gonna move this week and I'll get my food back together. If we can stack just little ways to increase your confidence and give you small wins, it's gonna raise your confidence overall and make the process a lot easier for you.
In our next episode, we're gonna look deeper at the 90-90 breathing position to make sure that you're setting up for it as effectively as possible to get all the benefits.
We're also gonna introduce you to the head adult or general manager at Results Driven, Teresa. And she's gonna talk about the quintessential New Year's resolution question: how many times a week should I work out?
After that, we're gonna talk about some more tactical advice on goal setting.
And I might have a little more facial hair and be dressed like a lumberjack.
Remember to like, share, and comment, connect with us. We're gonna be here. Our goal is to have 100 episodes by the start of 2019. So please follow along with our journey here in the production of this show, but also take part in the results-driven community, because if you're an exerciser and you know that the difference that fitness can make on your life, we wanna know who you are and we wanna know more about what's happening with you. Thanks for joining us.
We gonna make it rain, YouTube.